Good morning. Today on Business Success in Six with Stacie, I have Jimmy Gozman here from City Lights Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Jimmy, thanks for jumping on with me.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
It is my pleasure. We're excited to learn more about City Lights Brewing Company and what sets your business apart from others in our brew city industry. So if you don't mind, I'd love to ask you 6 questions about your business.
Happy to answer them.
All right, here we go. First of all, when people ask you what Brew or City Lights does, how do you describe it?
So we are a production brewery. And tap room. So there's kind of different levels of breweries. A lot of them are, more geared towards brew pub type stuff. So that's more just on-site consumption. And those establishments, because of the liquor license, the way the state does it, are allowed to sell wine and hard alcohol as well.
Okay.
We're a production brewery, so we're allowed to have the tap room and still sell the beer we produce on site, but we cannot sell wine or hard alcohol. So a lot of our business is focused on the distribution side, both for on-premise, so bars and restaurants, selling kegs to them, some packaged there as well, but distribution throughout the state in packaged goods into grocery stores, liquor stores, chains, and also in Minnesota and Illinois.
Oh, wonderful. So what were your plans when you started your business? I know you said you had started in 2014. How has your business changed since 2014?
It's changed a lot, a couple times. So in 2014, we started as a contract brewing company, meaning we had our recipes, my recipes that we were producing at another brewery, packaging them there, and then those were shipped to our warehouse, and we sold those into distribution that way. So that was meant to get our feet wet in the industry, establish some relationships, some financial history, so that when the time came to build our own production brewery, we had a little more clout to raise money and get going on the production side of things. So we switched from contract manufacturing to producing our own stuff. And we actually do some contract production now for some other businesses as well. And on top of that, with the production side, we have our brick and mortar. So we also have a restaurant there that kind of just started out as a tap room where we would serve our beer, and then we started to add some food items, and then we outfitted the tap room with a food truck, which operates the same as a commercial kitchen. A lot of people that go to the tap room don't even know that it's an actual food truck where their food comes from. So in addition to the production and distribution side of things, we operate a full-on restaurant where we have the capabilities to do special events, catering, and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. When did that part of the business start?
That's been going on. So we opened the production brewery tap room 2017. Restaurant's been around, the food truck probably about 4 years now.
Okay, so before COVID.
Correct. Yep. So the first one burned down, unfortunately.
Wow, that's a learning lesson, right?
Yeah. But insurance fully covered that. So we had a brand new shiny one, replaced it very quickly after that with better equipment and more capability. So
Perfect. Well, things work out, right?
yeah, definitely.
So what is the biggest way that you impact the community?
We've had a lot of people come through. We've had a lot of employees. We have a pretty low turnover rate, especially in the hospitality side of things, for what's typical in the industry. We still have, the individual that runs our special events and taproom manager. She was one of the first persons that we hired in 2017. And she just bought a house.
Wow.
Had 5 other employees that have, gotten married throughout, not met each other at work, but got married, had children, bought houses because of the jobs we've provided. the craft beer industry has changed significantly since we opened or even started contract brewing in 2014. I think there were 6,000 breweries, a little over 6,000 breweries in the country back then. We're nearing 10,000 now. So
Wow.
imagine shelf space is harder to come by.
Mhm.
Tap lines are harder to come by. So it hasn't gotten easier to be a craft brewery. And then you add in all of the rising costs and all that stuff. Um, so we've had to look at other ways to bring in revenue versus
Mhm.
just beer. So the special events has been the on-site stuff has been a huge portion of that. But we just launched a canned water.
Oh,
Um, Non-alcoholic is the other area that we're working on right now.
yeah.
It was really exciting. So we looked at what Liquid Death is doing. We're obviously not Liquid Death. We don't have the budget that Liquid Death has, but we have amazing water. That's why Miller, Pabst, Schlitz, all those breweries decided to come here however long ago they came here because the water is amazing.
Mhm.
Uh, so all the water we use in our brewing process is all filtered and amazing water from Lake Michigan. So we just launched the canned water. We partner with the Menominee Valley Partners,
Very
both
cool.
ourselves and our distribution network. And what we're doing with that, obviously, plastic bottles are terrible for the environment, the number one polluter. We're
Mhm.
canning water. So the cans are much more environmentally friendly, much more economically friendly. So what we're doing with that, we're actually donating $2.40 per each case to the Menominee Valley Partners, which their mission is to revitalize the Menominee Valley, continue the growth, keep the river clean. So whatever major market we go into. So we just launched this year, January.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. So whatever market we go into, we're going to partner with a local. So when we go to Chicago, Minnesota, we're going to be partnering with charities there that have an impact on their community. So do the same thing. Try to get the distribution network to do the same thing to give back to the community.
That is huge. So not only are you giving back environmentally, you're also giving back to local charities in the areas that are directly using your products. And one more thing, having an NA option is really, really important as people to continue to slow down drinking or kind of just watch how much, they can really consume or should consume. It's nice for them to just have a can to crack, a good option. So very cool.
Water, and then we also last year we launched a non-alcoholic CBD tea line.
Oh,
Uh, CBD industry is huge. The CBD tea is amazing. There's been some, as far as the distribution network goes, there's been hurdles there.
okay.
Um, but the way the CBD we were planning on rolling out, which is all certified THC free, which is a big concern for chain distribution. No chain distribution has started selling consumable CBD. So
Okay.
been some barriers to success there with that.
Sure.
So we're still rolling that out. We're still selling it. It's available throughout Wisconsin. We're just waiting for one of those major retailers to bite because when they will, it'll be big.
Absolutely. So this CBD tea, I'm just curious, is it like a calming tea? I know like it can help relax you a little bit, but
Yeah,
it's not like psycho, doesn't change the brain, so to speak.
not nope, not at all. We
Okay.
have three different ones that we offer, and the other thing that we did, so we use a CBD isolate. It's processed a little more than just straight CBD, which removes the flavor, which is good, removes the aroma. But in that process, which is how we get rid of the THC. Um, but in that process, it also strips some of the other stuff that's beneficial.
Oh,
Um, what we've done and what we started doing this with a couple of our beers, which is where this came in with the CBD. We worked with a company out of California that produces terpenes.
okay.
So terpenes exist in nature. When you smell a pine tree, that's a terpene. That's what you're smelling. Citrus, that's terpenes. They also exist in cannabis, hemp. So they're all over. So this company pulls these terpenes and get the flavor and effect that we're looking for. Lavender, calming, that's a terpene. Linalool, that's where that comes from. So we have our CBD, which has benefits of, anti-inflammation, calming, all that stuff. And then we have our teas, which are also part of this. So we have 3 products. One's energy, one's calm, and one's revitalization. And we have a mix of the tea and the terpenes and the CBD. The terpenes per each one are blended specifically for the effect that we're looking for.
Okay.
So it's kind of an advanced product. It's
Yeah.
delicious. I think it's effective. So we just need that chain distribution to jump on it.
Absolutely. That sounds really interesting because you have the people that want to go into the tap room and have a beer, but then you could also have this whole new, for lack of a better term, subculture that wants to just go in after a yoga class and drink some tea and relax, or to get revitalized.
Yeah, we get both of those in the tap room. So we do well with it in the tap room. Where it's sold, it sells well. We just need that volume now.
Absolutely. So actually that leads me into the next question. What is one challenge that you have faced that other business owners can learn from? So you do have a more saturated market. Did you want to talk about that, or are there other challenges that you'd want to share?
I feel like a craft brewery, there's a new challenge every day. That's kind of the same with any business, I guess. But especially last year, I feel like it's leveling off a bit now. It's been hard, to open up my email without a notification from a vendor that there's a 10% price increase. Since we're in big chain distribution, we don't get the luxury of passing off that cost to customers, because the way chain works with alcohol, we set our price twice a year.
Okay.
We can't react to 47 price increases from February to October.
Wow.
That has been a huge challenge, both with raw materials, shipping, packaging materials. There was a can shortage for a while. A lot of that stuff is leveling off right now, but we just had to kind of weather that storm. We're able to do price increases in the tap room, but that's been a big one. And probably the biggest challenge is the sheer number of breweries now. Shelf space is not getting any larger, and not only are there a significant amount of craft breweries producing awesome beer, but now you have NAs are becoming more popular, and ready to drink cocktails are becoming more popular. So we've got a lot of factors that aren't necessarily working for us to remain super successful and on a huge growth trajectory. So it's a lot more work to keep the revenue train going positively.
Well, it sounds like you have some great things in the works, so hopefully that's going to help drive that revenue train really quickly.
Yeah, a lot of things are going good. It's just, when we started, especially with the contract brewing, things just kind of seemed easy.
Sure, and fun, right? And
now it's a lot of work.
Businesses offer us new challenges all the time. So thank you for sharing that. So what does the future look like to you? I know you talked a little bit about your tea line, CBD line. What does it look like for you? And do you have an exit plan?
For the future, we're focusing on, still growing our distribution, still focusing on that model, but controlling more what we can control, which is what we're doing on site. We're doing extremely well with special events. We do a lot of weddings, corporate events, things like that. We have a special event space there. So those things that we can control that are higher margin, we're focusing a lot of our efforts on that. we're continually looking at other ways to drive new business with distribution, such as the water, where there's not a whole lot of, barriers to success, and things that are easily scalable.
Mhm.
So, it's looking at ways where we can succeed in a crowded market space, where the go-to-market is not a crazy ordeal, and that we're not, getting choked out by 9 million other products. So keeping an eye on trends, where we can meet those trends, where we can beat those trends, and potentially creating new trends. And exit plan, we have a fair amount of investors. It's a great investor group. They're amazingly supportive. They're likely looking for a liquidity event sooner rather than later. I'm a few years younger than most of our investors, so
Yeah, you've got some time, right? If you want it.
our timelines are different. So I'm, continuing to do what I can to grow the business and keep it moving on the right track and keep it being successful and providing jobs and
Yeah.
creating new products. The creativity side of things is awesome. That's what I really enjoy doing, is making new products. And if we can win an award here or there, that's awesome. So
Absolutely. Well, and speaking of awards, this is kind of an award. How I found you guys was you are the #1 thing to do in 100 things to do in Milwaukee before you die. So congratulations on that. I got that book and I read that. I'm like, okay, I got to talk to Jimmy. So congratulations.
Good opener there.
Absolutely. All subjects open. Last question. What inspires you most?
Just creating. I'm lucky enough where in my role, I do have a hand in everything that goes on in the business. So an outlet for me is creating new beers, new products, new flavor profiles. So when you get bogged down with emails and scheduling and supply chain and all that stuff, it's nice to be able to take a look back and try something new. Look at ways we could be filling gaps in our portfolio. So just that creative problem solving and being able to come up with new flavors that we get to share. And then, sometimes it's surreal. We're sitting in the tap room and on a busy Saturday and there's, 100 people in there and there's a party upstairs and people are there just, we built this place, which is awesome. And we're doing everything to bring these people here. And when you can see 120 people, 150 people sitting down, having a great time, enjoying the food that we work so hard to put together and curate that menu and trying all the beers, everyone's got flights and they're trying stuff and talking about it. Sure. That's the stuff that keeps the passion going and keeps the wheels moving to see what we can do next.
That's awesome. Very inspiring, very fun, and very creative. Jimmy, thank you so much for sharing your business with us. If somebody wants to go to the tap room or connect or distribute, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Yeah, coming to the tap room. I'm there a lot. So hopefully you can see me. If you do, flag me down. We'll have a chat. Follow us, Instagram, at City Lights Beer. We're on Facebook too, same. We're on Twitter. We don't tweet a whole lot, but awesome. Social media, stop by, give us a call.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Jimmy from City Lights Brewing in Milwaukee. Have a great, abundant year.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure. Take care.